Welcome back. Let's talk weather. We're noticing in terms of our drought monitor right now as we are in a drought here on the western slope. Most of us are just in that dry zone, but over Grand Junction, even stretching a little bit into those desert valleys and through Alamosa, we are in that moderate zone. And as a high pressure system kind of centers itself right on over us, we might increase in terms of just how much dry air, dry ground is with us. Now, also on that front range area closer to eastern Colorado, we've got fire weather watches active, and that's going to stay active for a little while, especially while those wind speeds are elevated on the front range. We are expecting wind speeds to actually get elevated for us here on the western slope on Friday up to 45-mile-an-hour gusts. With those increasing temperatures leading up to that, we're going to notice lots of sunshine with this high pressure system I mentioned moving on in, and like I mentioned, 70-degree temperatures are also moving on in for Thursday and Friday. Then a shift is headed our way Saturday. Before that happens, though, we are feeling 62 in Grand Junction right now, 60 as we look towards Moab, 56 through Montrose. Further east, we are a few degrees cooler, 40s and 50s to be seen right now. And outside on America's Mattress Live Tower Cam, beautiful blue, clear skies as we're getting into these evening hours. That's going to continue to be the trend with, well, minimal cloud coverage. We'll even take a peek at our futurecast and notice those late night hours tonight. Really only the northern and central mountains are looking at that cloud coverage. We'll fast forward into the time we're kind of waking up tomorrow and even later morning hours. Still clear skies for the entire western slope locally. Even as we go to bed on Wednesday, still seeing minimal cloud coverage. Then as we kind of get into those Thursday 1 p.m. hours, we'll start to see some clouds creep back on in, and this is actually just the beginning of a storm system that we're going to watch on on Friday and into Saturday. So we'll watch this cloud coverage move on in late Thursday night, and even as we wake up on Friday, still kind of coming and going in terms of that clouds. But we are watching the Pacific Northwest storm system move on in. The models are quite inconsistent as it is just a few days out. We'll track that as it moves on in. Now, our almanac shows us that we were very close to those seasonal averages on both the high end and the low end of things. Even tonight, we're going to be feeling 36 in Grand Junction, right around those seasonal averages, 32 through Montrose, 38 in Moab in those desert valleys. And we'll notice tomorrow we're jumping up even a few more degrees, 69 to be seen in Grand Junction, 72 through Moab, 63 through Montrose, 70 even through Delta. Now, I still have Piston hanging out with me all week this week for the dog walking forecast. Those peak temperatures, again, still happening in those later afternoon hours. And not just tomorrow, but the following day, Thursday, we're hitting those 70s, even mid-70s in Grand Junction. We're going to notice upper 70s in Moab, low 70s seen through Montrose. And our pollen forecast is still actually on that high end of things for trees, low grasses, low weeds, and a little bit of some mold irritations hanging on out for us here on the western slope. We'll take a look ahead and notice that our temperatures are staying just about normal for the future. And speaking of the future, I mentioned it yesterday, I'm going to mention it all week this week. Solar eclipse, the total solar eclipse, is headed our way for Monday, April 8th. And that's going to start to see just around that 12, maybe 12:30 hour. And we're in that 50 to 60% coverage on how much we're going to see of that sun covered. But our cloud forecast shows us with some overcast skies. But we'll continue to track that as our week continues. We'll notice in Discovery Auto Group's 7-day forecast, we're dropping down in the 50s for the weekend before the early work week. When the solar eclipse does happen, we'll start to see those temperatures increase just slightly.